I've been doing a lot of Fiore's Dagger lately because I bought one of these cold steel rondels. And along with this spear, which I've also been doing, I've had some thoughts about the way Fiore structures and teaches things. And I want to get it down in some more permanent forms. I can refer to it back later. I think Fiore is quite unique in the way he teaches compared to modern knife stuff. Today, usually we talk about, online at least, about knife defense. So the paradigm is that the person defending against the knife is the focus, and they are trying to control the knife attacker's arm or weapon and then trying to do something from there. But I don't think that's the way Quite Fiore envisions it. I think he's building a sort of mental structure or flow chart for the way you should attack, and then it's a little bit different. I can't quite put into words, and that's why I'm trying to put this into video, to try and put some structure to my own thoughts. Okay, Fiore basically he structures his teachings in a funny little way. He has the first master of battle, who is the first person to act. Then he has the remedy master, who is the second person, who reacts to that attack. Then there is the counter master, and then there's perhaps sometimes counter master. That's quite rare. So let's take the dagger, for example. The first master of battle attacks like so. And the remedy master, if you turn around you can see it from there, reacts like so. He steps into it and blocks it. And then he does something from there. Something. If we look at this from a modern knife defense perspective, it seems like there's kind of it seems dumb. It seems like you are putting too many eggs in one basket. You are trusting that he's going to commit to that attack, and that you are reliant on that attack being specific like that for the entire thing to work. And that's what I think Fiore is, what makes Fiore actually work, because he's not quite doing that. This is the part I'm having trouble explaining. On the defendant's part, you are not just doing this thing. You are doing an opening maneuver, but it's not a gamble. It's not a risk. It's covering this angle. Because the way he sees it, there's basically 3 attacks with the dagger. He's defending against 3 different kinds of attacks. There is the forehand attack, there's the backhand attack, then there is the below attack. Now he has more attacks written down in the intro section, where he shows the diagram of the human body and where you can attack what lines from. But in the masters, showing the first masters of battle, showing the attacks, only really have those 3. So you can kind of divide the human body into 3 sections, left and right, and then below. And the way he is structuring the first and, let's say, second or third master of battle is that they are a reaction against a threat. So I'm walking around without a knife, I'm being attacked by someone doing like so. Well, the first reaction I should have is the first master of battle. But the first counter to the first remedy. This is the first remedy. The counter to that is when you feel the contact, you go around and attack with the backhand. Let's see if I can get the camera a little bit up. So you're attacking with the backhand. And it doesn't necessarily have to be blocked and then go around. It can also be a feint. It's very fast. Too fast for the person defending against to react against. So in that sense, the second master of defending goes with the backhand cover, as he calls it. Now that's a weird term because this is already a backhand defending. So the second master, which is this, is also a backhand. But why specify that it is a backhand when this is also a backhand? I think it's because it's not referring to the defendant, it's referring to the attacker. This is the forehand, this is the backhand. So you are setting up a contingency for the forehand, and if you don't feel anything and you realize, oh shit, he's coming from this angle, you do the backhand. And this is interesting because this is a much more open, shall we say, spectrum. This angle is quite limited. You have to find it, and then you have to have a good angle to be able to line up your skeleton to be able to defend against the heavy attack. This, instead, is much more open. You kind of swipe and grab it, catch it, find it. So it can be a high feint. Focus, please. It can be a high feint. It could be a reaction against being blocked, where you stop and realize, oh fuck, and then it comes from below. It can be anything from this space here. Because you've closed this line, you know it's coming from here if you haven't caught it. You know it's coming. You know it's from this angle. So you're within that space, you are much more secure in just reacting somehow, if that makes sense. So when that first technique looks like it's too reliant on the opponent acting in a specific way, that's because if he doesn't, you don't find that contact. You realize, oh shit, it was a feint. He's doing something else. You have a contingency already. And you react to that, and then you do one of the techniques from there, or whatever. So that's his knife defense side. The thing is, I don't think Fiore is teaching knife defense, per se. This is a knightly art. This is taught with the dagger. When you look at his intro section, the guards he teaches for the dagger are not unarmed. He's not teaching you the unarmed guards like Iron Gate or possibly Long. These are from wrestling. They're kind of unrelated. They are related, but they're not the focus. The focus is the dagger. The dagger guards. You have I'm gonna have to put the camera down again. The focus is the dagger. So Iron Gate. Actually, Iron Gate doubled, because there's Iron Gate. You can actually see it. And there's doubled, and there's crossed, and there's all these kinds of variations, which are like, huh? Why would you put so much effort into all these guard variations? Oh, come loose now. I shouldn't fuck around with the camera too much. So the focus is on the dagger. Specifically, when you look at how the techniques flow. First master of battle, second master of battle, third master of battle. Goes back to the dagger guy. When I look through the manuals, the dagger guy always wins. He gets countered, the remedy, he gets defended against, but he always has an answer to that. The guy with the dagger always wins. So if you ask yourself in the modern knife defense paradigm, well, why would he attack like that? Like, why would the knife guy attack in specifically this manner? So that the knife defense guy can do the technique. Well, it's because this is the best way for the knife guy to attack. Because if there is some kind of defense against it, from the wide variety of techniques Fiore shows in terms of knife defense, you have a counter to those. You are ensuring that you're going to win by thinking ahead. You are 2 steps ahead of the other guy, in theory. So let's just talk about the first technique. You defend like that against the dagger. Let's not get into the backhand. Let's ignore that for now. You have several counters to that with the dagger. The first, of course, is you go under and go to the backhand. That's one option, but you have many more. You can, for example, begin, and you see him going for the hand raised, going for your own hand. Well, you can react to that, snatch it, and pull him in front of you and yourself behind them. And you end up in this interesting backstab position where you're like, they do this, they get pulled, and then you are behind them, like so. It's like a quick time event. If you manage to time it, it's perfect. It's like an instant win button. You can pull it off. If you don't, and you are like up here, well, you stick double your dagger, which is usually the option for the dagger user. There's also, if they manage to get the lock like this, the defense, still in the first techniques, well, you can lock it against your forearm, and then bring your other hand, as if you were doing that thing, and lock their hand in place, like so. You lock it in and pull it. And Fiore says you can break their hand, you can you get essentially complete mastery of their body because you have such a long lever. You pull them down to a good position, and then you can. And this continues with pretty much all the other techniques too. Like the first master attack, which is this, has the most variations of counters and techniques. You know, they can go deeper and do that. They can go with two hands, do something like that. They can go under, over. They can go for the knee, lift them up. They can go bum and go around the neck, a hip takedown. There's all these techniques. And the Dagger guy has a counter for all of them. For all of them, the Dagger guy always wins. And the same is continued with the other hand. So if you do a backhand, and they react to that with the backhand cover, well, you have a counter to that too. I actually don't remember it right now. Oh yes, I do. So they block it there. It's kind of like that. It's kind of similar to this, just from this angle. Well, you do the same thing. Latch in place and break your wrist or bring them down. Usually, the answer for everything in Fiore's Dagger is, if it doesn't work, apply more force. Muy forteza, something like that. Just apply more force. Half sword, the dagger. And then you control them and you do something. And the same is found with the last one, the below attacks. There are counters to this, which is like the remedies for that would be and then you can bridge their arm, bring it behind them, stuff like that. But you still have a counter with the dagger for those. The only exception really to these is when it's dagger against dagger. So the dagger user still wins. So let's say in 4th, 5th, or 6th, in one of the middle masters, you are in Portaferro like this, and this attack comes. Actually, did I make that one up? I think that made one up. Oh yeah, I apply one of the techniques and just put the dagger in there. Like, the funny thing about this is, all those unarmed techniques, you can just put dagger in there. Like you're doing this. Well, you can just apply the dagger there and do your stuff. So when I was showing this, I just put the dagger in there. That works. The actual technique shown in the manual is against the overhead, the forehand strike, which is this. So you come below there. It's basically the same. And from there, you just apply the things that you do barehanded with the dagger. So Fiore's Dagger is not a dagger defense treatise or manual teaching. It's dagger offense. It's the knightly art of the dagger, meaning you're a knight, you have a dagger, and you're going to kill someone. It's quite different from like the modern editions of knight defense. I think that's very interesting. Yeah. I think I got everything down there. Bye!